Okay, up here in the upper left corner is an example of the newsreader portlet that's been pre-configured to receive news stories from one of the campus. Our University in Communications and Marketing department maintains a list of news stories every day, and that's where this comes from. They also email this out and make it available on their website. So I guess it's an example of one of the pre-configured ones where you could always add your own newsreader portlet and add your own feeds. This is one where we've gone ahead and set up Compass ahead of time, and we've added to the configurable options. I'll just show you that real fast. So you can control how many stories you want to see summarized there. I can't quite interact with it yet. Oh, there it goes. So you can choose the number that you want to see. You can also choose how you want the stories to be displayed. I think, we're looking at it with flyouts, but you could just have titles, or you could have it with the summaries, which I believe is the more traditional way that the portlet has been deployed. I'll go back to flyouts because that's kind of a nice feature. You can also control whether you want the stories to open up in a new window or not.
So this is Drew. Bruce, can I jump in real quick?
Sure.
I also wanted to make sure to point out all of these things are portlet preferences, and if you, as an administrator, wish them to be fixed, don't want users to be able to change them, all you have to do is flag them as non-user editable at publish time, and instead of being enabled and user editable, they will appear disabled and grayed out, with the predefined selection in them. So that's an easy, sort of standards-based way to lock down portions of this, user preferences stuff. And that pattern applies pretty much to all the portlets we're going to show you today.
Well, on the screen right now, I've moused over one of the stories, and you can see the summary is popped up in what is that, yellow, a yellowy background. That's the flyout feature right there. Another portlet that we've worked on is in the upper right. It's the email summary portlet, and other than there's a number of features here. Of course, there's the short, quick summary right here at the top, and then you can page through your box, your inbox. And look at all the messages that are waiting up, I guess 10 at a time, or you can change that even. As you can see, I get a whole lot of spam from the Democratic Party. You can also refresh the content. All of this is cached to keep the page times up, but if you believe that more messages have rolled into your mailbox, you could hit refresh, and that would go back out and rebuild the cache. And then there's a number of configuration options that have been added here. Well, actually, I'm not sure if they were added so much as enabled. I guess Drew would have a better perspective there. But in this case, we've locked down the protocol and the place that students can go to connect to it, but they're able to change their password. And that's sort of a mismatch here, or a design. Well, just a design issue. Since our student mail is hosted out on Microsoft Live, their passwords are able to change independent of passwords that we use locally on campus.
Bruce, this is Drew. I just want to jump in and add that, these settings were here in this portlet from the beginning, but we recently added this screen so that users could be able to change them. Before you had to set them at publish time as an administrator.
And then I think I'm pretty certain that we're going to be building on top of this even more. How much of it is already in the portlet and what isn't, I don't have a good feel for at the moment. But we've talked about allowing users to add multiple mailboxes to the portlet and sort of tab between them. That's something that our students have asked for. As you might understand, they're not always happy that we've chosen email for them and would prefer to forward it to another provider. But having a number of email accounts summarized would be something that they'd like to see. I guess I can move on to the calendar portlet here once this refreshes. Drew mentioned that we combined 5 different calendars into one feed. well, 5 different feeds into one display, I guess is a better way to say it. So this is that, in fact. The academic calendar's 5 registrar feeds. And so, of course, you can pick the date, and it will change the content that you see down here below, and you can change, how far out you want to see it. We're going to make a change in here. That's not something that's stored right now, or the preference isn't stored, but we're gonna work on that. I believe that. I guess this isn't as configurable as I remembered it. Yeah, that's right. A number of the things that became configurable got added to the My Calendar view, but since this is pre-configured, you don't get to see those here. Let's see. Did you have anything you wanted to add to this one, Drew?
Oh, geez. Checking my notes.
It seems like we've done quite a bit, but it's not showing very much. Oh, I know one of the things that we faced was that it wasn't able to render iCalendar feeds that were coming or being exported from Exchange, and that took some playing around with. But we eventually figured out how to make it parse those kinds of files. And then one thing we'd like to sort of do is eliminate the export feature and go right to Exchange and get the calendars directly. So we're planning on seeing what APIs Exchange would offer to us to connect to. I don't know if that's something other people have done or are interested in, but of course we're trying to collect information along those lines right now. On the slides, we mentioned the announcements portlet. I don't think that we've done a lot here yet, but there's a lot of interest in using it, especially in the area of our facilities department who would like to be able to target announcements to individuals in certain buildings. There's like 200 buildings on campus, so how we make that happen is going to be a technical challenge, of course. But I think I'll jump over to maps and weather unless you want to mention anything on this page, Drew.
Oh, I'm good, Bruce. While you were talking about it, I thought I could add the ability to configure calendar feeds to appear on a portlet at publish time in the portlet manager. That was something we worked on with calendar. That was something we added.
Right. Excuse me. Here's an example of the pre-configured weather and Google Maps portlets. I believe when we first looked at the weather portlet, it came with New York City, Los Angeles, Paris, and one other city. I don't remember which. And while that's nice, we're planning on offering tabs to each of the various campuses that the university has. One main campus and 6 branch campuses, so that when you log in, you would see the weather relevant to your particular campus immediately. And then, of course, you could always add more locations if you wanted to. So that's where we've headed with the weather portlet. Now the map, we've got a little bug going on here. It's not quite zoomed in on campus, but if I back out and move it over, it'll zoom in on campus for us. And if we zoom in close enough on the main campus, you can see where all the buildings are and everything, which is something I think incoming freshmen are going to come to appreciate. At this point, I think we've shown everything that we were planning on showing, and I guess we'd be ready for questions.